Keanu Reeves does have issue 1 of Blood Shadow. All right, guys, today we are going on a studio tour. Let's get it. So I cleaned up my space. I did a lot of vacuuming, cleaning, wiping my toys down. Pretty much did a bunch of stuff. We shipped out some books the other day. We have more books to ship out, so I'm gonna do 2 videos. So this video will be studio tour. I don't know what will come first, studio tour or shipping comic books. Someone commented on my last video. They support what I'm doing and they grabbed a 4-book bundle. Like always, we have a 4-book bundle available at deathclubcomics.com. Please grab your books. But today, studio day. Here is my wonderful studio where I have all of my prized possessions. So we have the couch. This is where we chill at. For short, we have the PC. This is where everything happens as far as content creating, editing this video, pretty much everything. Sneaker collection, small collection right now. We got running shoes, Jordans, we got everything. We got my whiteboard filled with my daily schedule, daily goals, tasks, you name it. Got this Vegeta from, where'd I get this from? Comic-Con, LA Comic-Con. But this is pretty much, my studio. This is, I'm a firm believer that, your environment is what will inspire you to create. So I'm a comic book artist. I do some animation on the side sometimes too. And I really need a space just like this to create. So whether it's writing, I don't really write too much, just, I summarize my stories. We all know I do things the Marvel way, but we tweaked it a little bit, a modified Marvel way. But ultimately, these are all of my interests. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I love anime, I love comic books, I love fashion, sneakers, toys. I pretty much love it all. Big car guy, love cars. See, we got the Ferrari over here. But yeah, my studio is pretty much a prime example of what I love, all of my interests. This is somewhat of like a mood board too. I have this prayer in case, we go through dark times, we all go through stuff, but how do we push through? And then I got this letter from my guy Butta. Shout out to Keep It 100. My boy got me some shoes for Father's Day. Had a cool little Juneteenth run. My dream car and everything else. We got artwork, so everything here, everything around me inspires me. We have my mini library right here. We got anime books, we got manga, we have, Invincible comic books, how-tos, pretty much everything. So I have a lot of stuff here. So what is my most prized possession? I'm not sure. Maybe we'll save it for later or right now. We can go through everything that is over here. I remember a long time ago, if you go on my channel, I made a video about $100,000 worth of bear bricks, and I received nothing but negative comments, but that's cool. But my most prized possession is 2 signed copies of Berserker, issue number 1, foil copy by Keanu Reeves himself. I can't get this graded, don't want to get it graded. I'm not selling this, so you guys can see it here first. And I did not videotape this, but Keanu Reeves does have issue 1 of Blood Shadow. And when I went to go meet him, he literally said the name of my book out loud, but I do not have it, captured or anything. So technically it didn't happen. Let's get into my toy, first of all. This thing generated so much hate, a lot of hate. So I want to design toys too. My whole thing is like, whatever your hobbies or interests are, it wouldn't hurt to pursue them. Like, I love toys, I love comic books, I love, anime, cartoons. So eventually I want to get into animation too. I want to get into making my own toys. I feel like I can do everything in one house. We could do merchandise, which is, you know, clothing, toys, any type of product. Our books, I wouldn't consider our books merchandise, but everything can fall in the same house. You know, so right now is like phase one. So we're doing comic books. And then once comic books blow up and we build a huge fan base and a huge audience, then we can start developing, you know, toys, action figures, like this one right here. You know, I feel like because I've sold over 4,000 copies of my books, we're now over 5,000 copies sold of our books. I was like, hey, why not design a toy? And you know, when I posted it on social media, I got nearly 10,000 comments worth of hate. Either, oh, you know, your toy's made from Temu, and this is better than that, and that is better than this. So many people were comparing me to big corporations. Like, this is my very first toy. Very first toy. Also, I did a lot of clickbait stuff saying like, oh, you know, this is worth $15,000, when in reality, I educated a lot of people and I said, the toy doesn't cost $15,000, but if I wanted to order 500, it would cost $15,000. Now, the sample alone for this toy was around 600 to 800, I believe. So, and this is just a sample. This wasn't even the final stage. You know, the colors are off. You know, everyone was like, oh, you know, we can get something on Temu for like 10 bucks. And I'm like, I mean, you can go to Temu. You can go to Temu, but so yeah, got a ton of backlash. So we decided to shift the focus and continue, you know, making comic books, selling comic books. But yeah, that's the goal. And then, you know, we go from toys to animation. I mean, I'm trying to learn animation myself, but there are a ton of talented people out there, and I would rather hire a team, pay salaries, and just pump out, you know, content, you know, focus on, you know, the 9:16 ratio, put out animation, you know, that would both pretty much promote, you know, our comic books or whatever stories we put out, and build an audience from that. Some people may not like reading comic books, but some people like animation. So I want to attack, you know, everything ties together. Everything ties together one way or another. But, you know, I'm just documenting like the studio tour, the studio of where I create everything, just to show you guys, you know, where we will be, you know, later on. Hopefully we can grow out of this and, you know, get a bigger studio, have, you know, more people on the creative team, and pretty much go from there. So yeah, this is my couch where I hang out at. Shout out to Hypeland, my boy JB. This is where I pretty much do everything as far as, what do we do? Lay down, sleep, think, watch TV, watch whatever Sakamoto Days is out, so we're gonna watch that. But yeah, I'm here all day, every day, from 4 or 5 a.m. to midnight sometimes. I'm here all day. My little one is taking a nap. So that's why we're making this video, because I'm taking advantage of my child sleeping. But majority of the time, my child is with me while I'm working. This is one of my favorite pieces. And yeah, I definitely want to put more of my artwork. I feel like I'm better now as an artist. I mean, here is also another artwork that is for sale. I love this one so much. But the crazy part is, although I am getting better as an artist, I want to like put up like my new art. But here is the original, you know, I don't want to get too close because, you know, action cameras, you can't get too close, but here's the original art. Everything in here is done by hand. Everything is traditional, but then everything is colored digitally. So pretty soon, I'm actually gonna get a drafting table. I'm gonna put a drafting table right here. So I'm gonna remove all of this, put the drafting table. So that means we have to do a studio part 2. So soon you will see a drafting table here. This might just be like my shipping station. So I'm gonna work on this, you know, maybe put like a pegboard right here and then just have all of my supplies for shipping. But yeah, empty desk space. You know, we got art supplies. Show you guys my holy grail of tools. So one day I will do a video on, you know, all of what I use to you know, to create the best comic book series, but I also feel like I should show you guys, you know, some pages from Blood Shadow. To, you know, this, I don't know where this video is gonna go. I don't know if we'll get like a new audience, but issues 3 and 4 is in here. It's in here. So we gotta, dun dun dun. It's a little dusty. Gotta dust off the book, but here is the cover to issue number 3. Remember, everything is done by hand. Go through some pages. Like, what do you guys expect from my book? Oh my God, beautiful. I love this page so much. This is one of my favorite pages. But yeah, I'm not afraid to show off my work. Everything is done on an 11 by 17 comic book artboard. Then we scan it and we color everything digitally. So I am a one-stop shop. This is a solo studio, a solo comic book studio, where I pretty much do everything. And I am trying to do something very extreme, very extreme. So issue 5, we have to work on issue 5 soon. Right now we're focusing on sales, just trying to push sales, drive sales. But issue 5, I want to document that for you guys and show you guys the full process. I'm pretty much going to show everything. So you can either watch the video, praying that I can be monetized by then so I get paid either way. But the goal is, you know, the goal is a page a day. And when I say a page a day, I literally mean that. It needs to be penciled, it needs to be inked, and it needs to be colored. And I want to film and document that process. And I mean, every day sounds tough, but if I want to treat this like a 9 to 5, when you're at your 9 to 5, you sit at that desk and you are working all day long. Now, certain pages will be easier than others, you know, like dialogue or whatever. So I have to meticulously, you know, not write, but plan everything from dialogue, action scenes. I mean, everything is here, but you guys will see when I do it. But I'm speaking it into existence. This is what I want to do. You know, the goal is to wake up at 4 a.m. and just be done by 6, 7 p.m. Hopefully I can live stream myself coloring. So I will live stream myself coloring, but then I will do like a time lapse. So, you know, I want to get to a point where it's like I am truly known for being a solo comic book creator, you know, not just a writer, but an artist too, but a full-on artist where I do the penciling, inking, and the coloring. I hate coloring a lot, but I'm getting better at it. And I color with this $50 tablet right here on Photoshop. So we don't have, you know, a big 24-inch, you know, tablet pen display. We will soon. I am a firm believer in to work with what you have. Like, even with what I'm filming with, I know I need a better camera, but how many videos can I pump out? Like, can I show myself that I am consistent? You know what I'm saying? We have to make goals. So now that I can see myself coloring and doing everything on my own, okay, yeah, let's get a tablet. So for our videos, you know, like I said, I'll get a drafting table, right? So I will have, like, you know, figure out videos of me, you know, on the drafting table, penciling and inking by hand, show you guys my process, my approach. Then we will come over to this side. One day I will have a huge tablet, and then we can see the coloring process. So right now I do everything on my handy dandy iPad. So I do all the flatting on the iPad and then send everything to Photoshop to do the actual coloring, because Photoshop has a wider color gamut than Procreate. And we can get into that later on too. I can teach you guys ICC profiles, you know, preparing your colors for print, making sure they're, you know, RGB is for the internet, mobile screens, CMYK is for printing. I learned that. That's a quick little game for y'all. Quick little game for y'all. But all in all, guys, you know, this is, you know, where the magic happens. This is my bootleg MTV Cribs. And I'm excited. You know, I don't know where this video will go. I don't know how long it will be. I need longer video because I need watch hours, I need watch time. but I think I'm gonna start going live more because my watch hours have been growing from going live. But we also have to keep pumping out content, letting you guys know, buy the books, buy the books, buy the books, because the more books you guys buy, the more I can ship, and the more I can ship, that's more of me documenting, everything. Please check out the previous video where I did everything from shipping out a comic book and going to the post office at midnight. You've never seen that before, I know you haven't. So I'm here to just show you guys the full process, everything, raw and uncut. There will be some cutting. But yeah, this is pretty much what it is. This is my studio. So I gave you guys like a studio tour and a roadmap of what I want to do. So I'm gonna let it be known that I am trying to take over this industry. I'm gonna figure it out. The plan is for me to work on Blood Shadow, and then whatever other stories I want to come out with, that's when I will hire and outsource, because you can't just be a successful company with one character. I have multiple characters, stories, and ideas, but everything will be housed under Death Club Comics. But that will come with, with more money. Like, the plan is, hey, like, what if I had a big, warehouse studio and I'm just paying artists to, come and we're just pumping out content. We're pumping out books, we're pumping out animation. We just become just this huge powerhouse. But I'm dreaming big right now. I'm trying to dream so big that it scares me, that it's terrifying. Like, how can we go after the mouse? How can we go after DC? How can we go after Marvel? How can we be better than Dark Horse, Boom Studios, everyone? Just like LeBron, he's the kid from Akron. I'm the kid from South Central Los Angeles. And I don't know who will see this video, but let everyone know that I'm coming and I won't stop. So I think that does it for this studio tour. There's only so much you can show in here. We got a fridge. That's my speaker. This is my dojo. No shoes in the dojo on the mats. And for anyone that does not know, I do train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I do have my Jiu-Jitsu World League medal. We did get second place. We did get silver, but I am coming after gold soon. Right now, I'm dealing with a torn meniscus, so I'm chilling for a little bit. So we'll be back on the mat soon. I'll be vlogging that too. I have hobbies outside of, just comic books and art. And I will also do a series on, training and working out, because for people that are struggling to finish a comic book, the key is to work out. So working out does something to your brain that forces you to push through and muscle through whatever. So with training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and failing over and over again, playing football, banging my body up, basketball, lifting weights, all of that is the reason why I was able to pencil and ink a comic book in 30 days. So I'm done yapping. I'm trying to see how long this video can be. I'm trying to get it over 10 minutes. We might be on that way. And people only watch 3 minutes of my video, so a lot of these things people probably won't even, whatever, we'll see. But I appreciate you guys. Here is my studio. I will do more tours soon. Peace.